Hello, I'm Elena and welcome to week 2 of Holiday Club. Last week we talked about Jesus being the bread of life, so now we're going into the second I am statement that Jesus said. But the fun doesn't stop with this video. If you want more information and fun activities, pop a message to this email address on screen and you can get our Holiday Club newsletter. Today we're going to talk about a bit of the Bible in the New Testament where Jesus talks about being the light of the world. If we look at the 4th book in the second chunk of the Bible, we'll find the Gospel of John. And when we find the big number 8 and the little number 12, it says, "When Jesus spoke again to the people, he said, 'I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life.'" Jesus says he is the light of the world. That is such a special thing. Think about the world. Sometimes things get a bit rubbish. People might be sad for lots of reasons. Maybe they've lost someone they love. Maybe they don't have enough food or a safe place to live. And sometimes we can look at all the rubbish bits of the world and think, this is all so bad, I don't know what to do. But that's when Jesus says, "Hey, look over here, I'm going to be your light." Jesus is like our special torch. He helps us to spread light in the world, to make all the dark places brighter. When you're walking along a dark path, you can't see very well, and you need a lamppost. Or maybe, if you're in a boat, you need a lighthouse to guide you away from the dangerous rocks and safely onto the shore. That's what Jesus does for us. He lights up our steps and shines hope and goodness into our lives. But you know what? Jesus is our light. But he tells us that we are also lights in the world, because each of us is special, with our own special talents and places to be. Because of everything that Jesus does for us, we can do that for other people too. When we are kind, helpful, and loving, we follow in Jesus' footsteps and return all the light he has given to us back into the world. We're each stars in God's big, shiny universe. God lights us up and guides us in love to everyone around us, so we can be like him and spread good things to everyone we meet. Sometimes, Jesus also lights up the bad things we might do. Have you ever been in a very, very dark room? I mean, so dark you can't even see your hand in front of your face. You have to be very careful if you try and move around, because you might run into something. It is almost impossible to tell where you are going. Sometimes that's what it's like if we do things that make Jesus sad, if we aren't being nice to people, or we're doing naughty things. When that happens, it becomes hard to see where the good things are, or where the road Jesus is leading us down even is. But what happens when someone turns on the light? Suddenly you can see everything. That's the message we get from Jesus when he says, "I am the light of the world." There is absolutely no darkness, no bad stuff in God. He turns on the light and helps us to get back to doing good things and seeing all the good things he does for us. He loves us lots. So he doesn't care how many times he has to turn on the light, because he is the light. And he is turning our faces back to him, so we can be the best people we can, exactly how God made us. And the most amazing thing about Jesus being our light is that he never goes out. He isn't really like a light bulb or a candle, because those things can stop shining. But Jesus never stops shining, so we can always see how loving and good he is, and we don't ever have to live in darkness. Now I'm going to show you 2 crafts that'll help you remember that Jesus is the light of the world. The first is this lantern, and the second is this lovely bright picture. I hope you enjoy. For the lantern, all you'll need is a pencil, a ruler, a pair of scissors, a piece of card, and anything you want to decorate your lantern with. First, we're going to draw out the handle of the lantern and cut it out. Now we've got the main body of the lantern and the handle, we can put the handle aside. Now it's time to decorate your lantern however you want. But remember, if you don't want the thing you've drawn or decorated to be cut through, don't put it in the middle, put it along the edges. Now I've decorated my lantern with some things that I've learnt from today's story. I'm going to fold it in half and cut out the gaps for the lantern. Once we've done that, we can stick all the pieces of the lantern together. So first, we're going to circle up our piece of card that we've cut out and stick it at both ends there and there. Now we've got the main bit of our lantern, we can attach the handle. Now we've got a lantern to remind us that Jesus is the light of the world. The second activity is really quick and fun. All we're going to do is choose our favourite part of the story and write it down, and then paint and decorate our page however we want, so we can have a lovely piece of art to remind us about what we've learned this week. I'm going to paint lots of lovely stars on mine, because those are my favourite things that bring light. And of course, something about light wouldn't be finished without some glitter. Now, I think that my piece of art might be a bit boring and not bright enough. So maybe you can think of lots more interesting and fun ways to make your piece of art as bright as possible to remind you about Jesus' light.
This the light of my